Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. I've got one of those videos, get your money out of the bank. And the reason why I've done this is because a subscriber, and I'm going to keep their identity quiet, but they sent me an email that they just received from their bank. And we've done videos about this before. There are crazy things happening in financial institutions, from large banks like uh, Credit Suisse to our large banks like Wells Fargo pulling shady stuff about making, years ago, making fake accounts and things like that. We've also seen PayPal come out and say they're gonna charge you $2,500 if you're caught spreading misinformation. They keep it very open. As a matter of fact, they say they're gonna charge you $2,500 every single time they catch you spreading misinformation. So it could just drain your account. But this is something that's new. This is actually out of a credit union, which a lot of people always talk about how safe credit unions are, but this is an absolute dead ringer that there is a problem in the banking system, and we're going to show you this right now. And just so you know, this is the email, and it's going to be backwards, sorry, but important notice about check deposits, all right? So let's read through this. This is an email that came to one of my incredible subscribers, and if you're having any issues with your bank, please put it in the comment section below, and also share this video, because this is very serious times. We're going to talk about things that you can do right after, because a lot of people ask me, what do I do with my money in the bank? Okay, so I'll talk about, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you what I've done, okay? All right, so effective October 30th, 2022, funds. Now again, this is a credit union, and just so you know, it's Navy Federal Credit Union, okay? So let's call it out, because this is what's going on. And I can guarantee you this isn't the only bank doing this. Effective October 30th, 2022, funds from a check deposits made in a branch at a Navy Federal ATM or on our mobile app won't be available on the same day anymore. The first $225, now it doesn't say like the minimum check amount, all right? So this could be a check for $500, or it could be a check for $10,000, okay? They leave that completely open. It says the first $225 of your total deposit will be available on the first business day after the day we consider your deposit received. Dividends will still begin to accrue on the date the check is deposited. A business day is considered Monday through Friday, except federal holidays. If you make a deposit with a member service representative at one of our branches, it's considered received on that day unless posted signs, think about this, posted signs indicate your deposit will be considered received on the next business day. So even if you go in and deal with the teller and deposit it, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have access to all your funds. All right. All right. And that's the end of it. All right. Now, first off, I want to tell you, because there's going to be a lot of people that go, oh, well, that makes sense. Maybe they've had a rash of people that have been doing check fraud. I don't believe so. We're seeing the constriction happening on banking systems around the world, or and for sure our nation, where places like Chase Bank charges any business account, charges you every time you deposit cash or withdraw cash, right? They're making it harder and harder to be banking with them. Now, and this has been a policy prior to this. When you would deposit a check, it was considered, as long as you're good standing with the bank, good to go. You deposit the check, you have access to those funds. Now they're saying you don't until they've received it, and I can almost guarantee you it's until they know that that check's good that you're going to be able to have access to all of your money. Think about it. You get a check from the IRS, or a return check, or any of these bonus checks, or a paycheck, a check that you have been working at your job for 10, 15 years. You've been banking with the credit union for 5, 6 years, right? You go in to deposit your check and it's on a weekend. You don't have access to that money, all of it. You only have access to a small portion of it. And again, it doesn't give the minimum amount. Point being is this, banks are clamping down. They've been trying to get ready to prepare for a run on the banks, because I have a feeling under the new central bank digital currency, it's going to be rolled out with the Federal Reserve announcing it, and it's going to be rolled out in July. There's got to be a crisis that happens for people to, accept it and take it. People need to be prepared for this. All right, so let's talk about what to do. So first off, I have multiple banks. I want to say right now, 6 or 7 different banks. It's It is a lot to handle. But I also have multiple businesses and multiple personal accounts, things like that. So I have my what's it called? I'm diversified for risk, because under the new bail-in programs, under Dodd-Frank and legislation like that, a bank is allowed to dip into all of its depositors' money, because we are now considered non-secured creditors of the bank, and they can take money if they become insolvent, and then they could issue you worthless bank stock. All right, we've already seen this in Cyprus and in Greece. Now, that was the Petri test a long time ago, about, I don't know what, 2013, 2014, something like that. And it's now legal here. It's actually legal in Canada, all over the place. So they are preparing for something. They're also making it very hard, like I said before, to access cash, to get a bunch of cash out, or they treat you like a criminal and file a report with the IRS if you want to pull out a sizable amount of money. I'm sure you've heard the story where another YouTuber, Chris Taylor, and his wife were talking about a video I did where someone I know closely tried to pull out $5,000 and could not access their money. They had to go to multiple banks. And they said, we just don't have the money. And they said, well, that must be a California thing. They literally went down that next week, tried to take 10,000, I believe, out, and they were not allowed to. They were told, we do not have the cash. So it's definitely not a California thing. And guys, please put in the comment section if you've experienced anything like this so other people can learn from our issues, right? Now, another thing is it's very important to have cash enough to pay a month's worth of bills if something severe happens in the financial system. We've all seen pictures of the Great Depression where people are banging on the door and they're trying to get a hold of their money and banks are just shutting down. And we've heard the term bank holiday before, and it is a very real thing. Banks can just close for all kinds of different reasons, but under extreme financial stress, they could shut down. We just recently saw this in China where people were protesting, thousands of people. They had no access to their money, and they were literally given like an allowance. Okay, you're only allowed to take so much out per day. And that could become very scary. So one thing you want to do is have a month's worth of cash on hand. And I always suggest small bills, ones and fives, in a safe place stored away, so that if something crazy happens, or let's just say nothing with the banking system, you just have like a hurricane rolling through or a tornado takes out your town and the next couple towns next to it, you're going to need cash to get through things, because, electrical lines, internet lines, things like that are all going to be destroyed. And right now, our world is completely tied together financially with the internet. Okay, so it's good to have a month's worth of cash. The other thing is there's a reason why you diversify into things like, real estate and gold and silver, because not only the inflation hedges, they're hedges against, counterparty risk. When you own a silver coin, and you have it hidden somewhere, stored somewhere very secure, no one can come and take that from you, right? On the flip side, one of the easiest ways, because I know people that call me and they go, I've got like $1 million in cash sitting in the bank, and I go, do you have any debt? They're like, well, I owe money on my house. I'm like, pay it off. I mean, there's certain debts. You have a credit card bill? I've got like, $20,000 in the bank right now. What should I do? And I'm like, do you owe any credit card debt? And he goes, yeah, I got $3,000. I'm like, pay it off. And don't get into credit and get that. I mean, that's one way to save yourself, because if tragedy strikes economically or environmentally, you don't have that credit card bill not only looming over your head, but if you miss the payment, it destroys your credit. And now you're out for a handful of years because nobody's going to want to give you a loan. Do you see what I'm saying? There's multiple ways to deal with this, and that's why I want to encourage you to do that. But I'm going to stay on top of these stories, because as each bank comes down with these new rules, just to clamp down, it makes it look like, well, there was some bad guys that ripped us off, so we got to do it this way. Sorry. There's really a bigger picture here, okay? Because things like this are going to very seriously annoy, frustrate, and scare a lot of their people. And a lot of people don't even read the emails that they get. They just don't even think about it until it's too late. And all of a sudden, what do you mean I can't get my cash? I can only get $225. And that's why I'm trying to do is spread that information so you guys don't have to go through that. All right, guys, hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.